use to improve your self-talk. Whether you verbalize it or whether just in your mind, how you speak to yourself matters. And it's empowering you or demotivating you from actually achieving some of the goals that you would want to achieve this year. So if at all you have set out some goals and things that you want to do and achieve this year, it is important that you continue to revisit, refine how you speak to yourself. The question maybe you have today is that how does negative self-talk impact us? Self-talk impacts us in more than one way. And one of the ways that self-talk impacts us is that it decreases our motivation and increases our level of feeling helplessness. So when you are speaking to yourself in a negative way, you are actually decreasing your level of motivation. And how many of you know and understand that in order to finish your work, to finish whatever you need to finish in your workplace, in your career, in your studies, that you truly need motivation? And how many of you know that also to achieve whatever you want to achieve, you are not only looking forward to have enough motivation, also you need to feel that you are capable and you are able to achieve what you want to achieve. So when you keep on speaking to yourself in a negative way, you are impacting actually the results that you're looking forward, because your level of motivation is going to increase and your level of helplessness is going to increase. Point number two, it also limits your chances of succeeding. This is very important because how you speak to yourself speaks a lot about your belief system, what you believe in yourself. So if you speak to you in a negative way, it also means that at the core of your being, there's so much negativity, and it's going to impact also your level of success, but ultimately also linked to the idea of your level of success being impacted. I've come to believe that we can only achieve or set our goals that reflect our perceptions of ourselves, and the success that we are likely to walk in and experience also is linked to our self-perception. And what cements also our self-perception is what we speak to ourselves. So if our self-perception is very low, it also linked to how we speak to ourselves. So your level of success is going to be limited by your level of perception. Your level of perception is also informed by and cemented by the words and how you communicate to yourself. So if you want to improve your chances of succeeding in a specific area that you want to succeed in this year, I want to encourage you that you have to improve your self-talk, because if you don't improve your self-talk, it's going to impact also the chances of you succeeding in that area. Let's go to point number 3. Point number 3 also says that negative self-talk impacts relationships, because when you are talking to yourself in a negative way, you come across as somebody who is insecure, somebody who is very needy, and somebody who is a high maintenance emotionally. So from a relationship point of view, although we get into a relationship and see how we can serve one another, but also we want to experience some level of space and freedom and a sense that the person that we are with, they're emotionally stable and they're able to take care of themselves, so that you don't feel that you are in that relationship to just help that person and always lifting that person and always trying to be there, that person. So self-negative talk is going to impact your relationships as well. And I believe if you are like me, you want to have good friends who believes in you, trust you, who also understand that you are worth and you are capable of achieving some of the things that you want to achieve. But at the same time, you don't want to be in spaces where you are coming across that like you are a burden to them, because naturally people run away from negative environment. So toxic or self-talk that is negative will impact also your relationship, because people are not going to gravitate towards you, and as your relationships are being impacted because people are not gravitating towards you because of your negative self-talk, also it's going to impact your self-esteem, because you keep on asking yourself to say, why is it that people don't stay in my life? People don't stay in your life because you negatively speak to yourself, you view yourself in a way that is judgmental, in a way that is not empowering. And in fact, what happens when we are speaking to ourselves in a negative way, chances are that we have less positive things to say to our friends and to encourage them. And also that impacts, because if you are generally a negative person to yourself, chances are that you're going to also to be a negative person to the individuals that are within your space. The world is very tough, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to be in an environment that are negative and that are toxic. So if you want to maintain and grow and expand your networks and relationships, you need to look at ways and means to improve your self-talk. So let's go to 4 things very quickly that will enable you to improve your self-talk. What is important, number 1, is that you have to catch your critic. You have to catch the critic in you. What this means that every time you are about to go hard on yourself, every time you are about to go very negative about yourself because of what you have done or what you are experiencing, you have to catch yourself. Ask yourself this question: what I'm speaking to myself, if there was a person next to me going through the same thing that I'm going through right now, can I speak to them that way? And if you cannot have the courage, the audacity to speak to the person the way you are speaking to yourself, chances are that those thoughts and those conversations that you're having about yourself are not worth having and retaining in your mind. So anything that you cannot speak to the person that you care and love, it means that also you cannot speak to yourself that way. So every time you get into a place where you are becoming very critical of yourself, catch yourself and ask yourself this question: can I speak to somebody I love and care about the same way I'm speaking to myself? And if you can't, it means that those thoughts and that level and that type of communication is not for you, because it can never be for somebody else that you love and you care for. Point number 2, create words of affirmation. These words of affirmation can be scriptures where you speak about, scripture that inspires you, that speaks to you, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. I'm more than a conqueror. Or if you are not from a spiritual background or a Christian background, find different ways and means to affirm that affirms who you are and what you want to be. Because in you affirming yourself, you are actually changing your mindset and shifting your perception about yourself. And chances are there will be a time when you truly believe in positive affirmation, the good thing that you see and speak about yourself. It will be very, very difficult for you to go against what you have already been speaking about yourself. So in improving how you speak to yourself, in improving your self-talk, it is important that you go ahead and create words of affirmation. Capture scriptures that inspires you, capture scriptures that elevates you and lifts you up, because in difficult times you can rely on those affirmations, you can rely on those scriptures instead of relying on negative self-talk that is ultimately is going to decrease your chances of succeeding and impacts your level of motivation. Point number 3, surround yourself with different sources of inspiration. Sometimes we can be so addicted to negativity that we are easily drawn to negative news, negative information. We are always on social media reading negativity, while on the same platform there are so many sources of inspiration. If you want to change how you speak to yourself and how you communicate yourself, and if you truly desire to be a better person and you desire to achieve and do the most in your life, you have to make sure that you surround yourself with different sources of inspiration. This can be individuals that inspires you. This can be information on social media or on different platforms that inspires you, that encourage you. Listen to podcasts that are educative, that are life transforming, that changes you, that builds you up, because that way, the more you build yourself, the more you surround yourself with positive and different positive sources of inspiration, you are building yourself in and you are improving your level of self-talk. If you don't surround yourself with positive sources of inspiration, by default, you are going to surround yourself with actually negative sources. And these negative sources are going to influence how you communicate to yourself. They're going to influence how you speak to yourself, and ultimately impact on the level of motivation, impact on the level also of your self-perception. My last point is that if you are also going to improve your how you speak to yourself, you also have to actually have a culture of making a contribution or create a habit of serving others. This is very important and paramount. Why? Because the more we serve others, the more we make other lives better, the more we contribute, the more we become kind to others. There is a positive energy that comes from helping others, of being of good use to others, of making a contribution, of serving others. And serving others doesn't have to be really so big. It can be just opening a door for somebody, or it can be just checking up on somebody, how they are doing, and say you are thinking of them. It can be just buying a cup of coffee for your colleague. It can be just supporting your teammates and making sure that they are doing well, that they are achieving their goals. As you do so, you are actually improving your state. And in improving your state, what is going to happen is it's going to transform how you view yourself, because the more feedback you get also from the people that you are helping, it begins to change how you perceive yourself, and it's going to ultimately improve how you speak and communicate to yourself. So when you are self-centered and you are not serving others, it becomes very difficult for you to actually improve on how you communicate to yourself. But serving others has been proven to be one of the sources that changes, that empowers us, that improves how we communicate to ourselves. So this is it from me for today. I wish you have learned a few things, and I'm wishing you all the best this year. And this is the reason why I've come up with some of this conversation and talks on my platform, just to encourage you and inspire you so that you can become the best version of yourself. If you do need support from a coach, a mentor, somebody that can help you on your journey that you are on right now of becoming a great person, I'm here to provide that support. You can inbox me, contact me, or call me so that we can make some arrangements. Enjoy the rest of the day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.